Have you ever had that feeling, that little bit of anxiety right before you use an AI-generated response, wondering if it's about to make a huge mistake? Well, today, we're going to talk about a really simple but powerful thinking tool to make sure that never happens. It's called the Final Audit Protocol. Imagine waking up to this message. Seriously, this is the kind of real-world nightmare that happens when we let AI automation run wild. The stakes are just incredibly high, and it all boils down to one single critical mistake. So how on earth does an AI end up promising someone a free car? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It happens when we hook up the AI's output directly to the send button. We take the human out of the loop. It's literally like taking your hands off the steering wheel on the highway and just hoping for the best. But don't worry, there is a solution. And it's not about buying some new, better piece of software. It's about a shift in how you think. It's time for you to take on a new role, a new job title, really. You are now the editor-in-chief. Okay, so what does being an editor-in-chief really mean in this context? Let's dive into this analogy. Think of your AI as this incredibly talented, super fast journalist. They can crank out content like nobody's business. But they're also a little sloppy, a bit error-prone. That's where you come in. You're the diligent editor with the red pen. You're the one who's ultimately responsible for what gets published. And you know, every good editor needs a process, a system. For us, that system is the Final Audit Protocol. Think of it as your standard operating procedure, your personal checklist. It's the one thing that guarantees no raw, unchecked AI output ever sees the light of day without your final sign-off. So what does this protocol actually look like when you're using it? Well, it's a beautifully simple 3-point safety check that puts you right where you need to be, in the editor's chair. The whole workflow really just breaks down into 3 simple stages. First, and this is key, you create a mandatory stop point. Second, you run through your checks. And third, only when you're completely happy do you give it the final sign-off. It's a clear, structured process, from beginning to end. Now let's talk about that first step, because it is, without a doubt, the single most important rule of this entire protocol. Are you ready? Never, ever connect an AI's output directly to a send button. Always, and I mean always, insert a draft step in between. That one simple action creates this crucial buffer, this mandatory pit stop for a human review before anything goes public. Okay, so the AI's output is now sitting safely in your drafts folder. What's next? Well, now you perform the 3-point check. This is kind of like the walk-around inspection a pilot does before every single flight. You check for hallucinations by tracing back its sources. You check its logic. You actually do the math. And you check the tone, listening for that classic telltale robot voice. Theory is great and all, but let's see how this thing actually works in the real world. We're going to grab a piece of raw AI output and put our red pen to work, running it through our 3-point check right now. Okay, here it is, the raw AI output. Just take a second and read it. Does anything jump out at you? Any red flags? I mean, it sounds pretty confident, right? It sounds official. But the real question is it true? And look at that. After we apply our audit, the transformation is just massive. The original was a complete mess. It was full of errors. The final version, it's simple, it's clean, it's accurate, and it's professional. I mean, this is the difference between looking foolish and actually communicating effectively. So how do we get from that disaster of an original to that clean final version? Let's break it down check by check. First, the source trace. That 2024 Global Tech Report, yeah, it doesn't exist. It's a complete hallucination. So we deleted that claim. Gone. Next, the logic check, the math. The real increase was 15%, not 150%. That's a huge difference. And finally, the tone check. All that robotic fluff like testament and unwavering commitment, we just rewrote it to sound like an actual human. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. This is a great question. Hey, can't I just use another AI to audit the first one? It's a totally logical thought, and the protocol has a very clear answer for this. And the answer is yes, but with a huge asterisk next to it. You can absolutely use AI as a helper, as an assistant, to find claims that look a little fishy. But, and this is the important part, a human being has to do the final verification against reality. An AI can't check your company's actual sales data. It can't call a source to verify a quote. Only you can do that. And this really brings us to the most important, the most empowering takeaway from this whole explainer. The technology is just a tool. You are the one in control. You are the final checkpoint. You are the kill switch. So let's boil all of this down into your final, simple checklist. 3 things to remember. Number 1, always draft, never send directly. Number 2, check the source, check the math, and check the tone. And number 3, the most important one, remember that you are the final checkpoint before anything gets out into the world. This whole protocol is actually a core idea from a system called Simplified Technical Programming. So if you want to go a lot deeper into this way of thinking and other mental models just like it, the full foundation source material is available to you on Gumroad. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. As you go back to your work today or tomorrow, what is the very first AI output you're going to put through this checklist? Give it a try. I think you'll be amazed at the difference it makes.